everybody and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions. It is time for another round of League One predictions. Everybody is back in action this week. Yes, we've got 12 games to talk about, and it is not just me on my own doing it. We'll cut to myself and Thomas, who filmed the rest of the video over the weekend. I'm just here to do the intro to go over those kind and wonderful people that gave their predictions for the last round of League One predictions. How do you play along? Well, it's very simple. It's not difficult at all. If you want to get a shout out on next week's video and you want to play along in our predictions game, just put your predictions in the comments of this video. We're getting more people playing every single week. It is absolutely fantastic. And without further ado, let's jump in to see how everybody did. Starting with Patreon backer and friend of the channel, Paul Ridgely. Not a great week. Paul, for you, wasn't great in Premier League predictions either. Only the 1 point. So you are collecting double wooden spoons this week, my friend. Usually a guy who likes to bring up the rear is Robert Allen. But he is second to last this week with only 2 points. Two new players up next. First is Blue Army. I've yet to find out which Blue Army he supports. Maybe it's the Conservative Party. I don't know. I doubt it. Only 2 points as well. Jamie Dawson is another person with 2 points. Thank you very much, guys, for playing. Please play along this week as well. I'm sure you're going to do a lot better. Next is Paul Evans with 3 points. Thank you very much, Paul. PJ Simpson is next. Friend of the channel, Patreon backer. First time playing the League One predictions game. PJ stormed the victory in the Premier League One. Not such a good showing in League One. Only 3 points for you, PJ. But thank you very much, and please play again this week. Liam Martin, one of our many Plymouth fans that seems to comment, you must be loving life at the moment as an Argyle fan. The Green Army are going strong. We didn't do so well here. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Only 3 points for you. Our long-suffering Wycombe Wanderers fan, Jonathan Herriff, is next up. They're still above us in the league for now. But only 4 points for you. Actually, not too bad considering only 7 games. So well done, Jonathan. 4 points for you. Actually beat me and Tom, so what am I saying here? Ryan Irving is also in with 4 points. Congratulations. That is for him and Jonathan. That's 4 correct scores out of the 7. No, 4 correct results, no correct scores. So pretty good effort considering there are only 7 games. Manish Thapper is next up with 5. Of course he got a correct score. He always does. He got the Bolton Crewe one right, so he started the weekend well and carry it on. 5 points for you overall, Manish. Very good showing indeed. Argyle supporter. I'm guessing that's Plymouth Argyle. Of course it's Plymouth Argyle. Didn't come in time, but was very honest to say it. Didn't just predict the Bolton game after the fact. Very honest to say that he wasn't in time for the Bolton game. So he only 6 scores, and he ended up getting 6 points with the correct score for the Wednesday Gillingham game. Great effort. Please play along this week. Peter Kelly, another Argyle fan. My God, you guys are coming out of the woodwork. 6 points for you, Peter, as well. A correct score in there for Charlton's 1-0 win away at Burton. So you two guys, you two pilgrims were so close to winning, but you did not claim top spot. It is a back-to-back victory. The first time that the champion has regained their crown. That is right. Steve Watser, you want to check out this guy. He clearly knows what he's talking about. He got virtually everything right. He got 7 points, and he even missed a game. He didn't even put Wycombe versus Portsmouth in there. He got a correct score for Wednesday and Gillingham. The only thing he didn't get right was that he didn't back Plymouth to win. What a crazy nutcase, but it didn't matter. He got 7 points overall. A winner is you. Once again, Steve, well done. Congratulations, and try and defend your crown this week. That is it. Thank you very much to everybody again for playing. Again, if you want to play along, put your comments down below and I'll give you a shout out next week. And who knows, you may be the champion. But that is all the hot dogging and grandstanding out of the way. It just leaves me to say hit like, hit subscribe and turn on that notify bell because it is time for League One predictions. And we start with
Accrington Stanley versus Sheffield Wednesday.
You would think Sheffield Wednesday could win this game against little old Accrington.
You would think.
Little old Accrington, Thomas.
Lost again today.
Who?
Accrington.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? But they lost to Plymouth, and Plymouth are all singing, all dancing, so
They're
it's excusable.
Incredible.
But Sheffield Wednesday drew again. They drew again. Like, what the fuck? It's like, I just don't get it with this side. You are the draw king. You are the new Sunderland. Not even Sunderland are the new Sunderland. It's Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's amazing how
4
many
draws
games
and a loss,
they've drawn.
5.
And the side you did beat was bloody Sunderland. I don't understand. 1-1.
1-0 to Stanley.
I love it.
Do it.
I love it.
Come on, the boys.
I love it.
Charlton Athletic versus, oh no, Green Army, Plymouth Argyle.
They continue to be amazing. They continue to be a joy to watch.
It's been a real climb of the table for Charlton.
Yeah. Damn, he stole my damn joke. Look, Plymouth have been outstanding.
So good.
They blew Accrington away today. They are a real force to be reckoned with this season. It doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. But Charlton will give them a stern test here. They'll give them a lot bigger test than Accrington did. And we talked about, the same thing. This is a completely rejuvenated side. Now the fact that Nigel Adkins is not there. I don't actually know if they put a manager in yet. I think they're still using a caretaker. But 1-0 win today. Just very impressive. Carries on the good form. Moves them up the table. I think that's like 3 wins and a draw out of the last 4 games. So good form. I'm going to let you go first because I really just don't know.
I think Plymouth are going to win this. I think betting against Plymouth right now is a fool's errand. Plymouth to win, but it's going to be tight. Charlton looks so much better. We had them in the playoffs, I think, pre-season. 2-1 to the Green Army.
Well, label me a fool because I'm going for a draw. I'm going for 1-1.
Are you the draw king? Cheltenham Town versus Shrewsbury Town.
16th versus 21st place. So I don't think either one of us are expecting a classic here.
Goals!
Goals! Sorry, we're watching a different. Sorry, there's a game on over there. I'm just going to go. Not much to say about this one. Just going to say Cheltenham edge it just for the fact they're at home and they've been pretty decent at doing all right at the Johnny Rocks. And Shrewsbury, I thought that they turned a corner now that Ryan Bowman has gone, but clearly not. 1-0 Cheltenham.
I'm just going to have to copy you. 1-0 Cheltenham. Crewe Alexandra versus Gillingham. Worst side in the league, Ian. Hands down, worst side in the league. Not cut adrift because Doncaster are in the league with them, but really poor play from Crewe thus far this season.
Awful.
Really not in a great run. But the Gills, they drew today.
Yeah.
They were in a winning position for most of the match, weren't they? Or have I got
against Wednesday, wasn't
it?
They won the and drew 1-1. But that's an encouraging result for them and a good one. I mean, they've been a bit draw kings themselves, but it's not been a good start and they're trying to turn the form around and not be in that dogfight. But Crewe have been dreadful. I mean, 1 win, lost 2-0 to Bolton, and it didn't look like they really showed up for the game. They didn't really create much in it.
You were a year early. You said this was what Crewe were going to do last year. We were pleasantly surprised by how good they were, but there's no way they were going to keep it up. You look at them now, 9 points from 17 games. They've shipped 31 goals. Their goal difference is -19. They're making Norwich look accomplished in the Premier League, essentially. So I think you've got to go Gillingham in this. I'm going 2-0. Yeah. I think Crewe's season is already over in this league, personally.
I mean, there's time, but, it doesn't look like they're going to address it, turn it around anytime soon, and they may be too far adrift by the time they do. I agree. 2-0 Gillingham sounds good to me.
Donny Bells versus Lincoln City.
Doncaster haven't been much better, let's be fair. 12 points from 16 games that they've played. They're second bottom in the league, and they haven't been that much better than Crewe, really. And Lincoln, we've talked about them. They've probably been one of the most disappointing sides in terms of where they should be. They'll point to factors off the field of not having players, but the form's not been too bad in the last 5 games. They've only lost 1 out of the last 5 in the league. And I don't rate Doncaster at all. And I think Lincoln can get 3 points here. I'm going to go 2-1 Lincoln.
Sorry.
Cool. No,
I was just going to say, Lincoln, in the little bits I've seen him this season, look disjointed. It is just a hangover, I think, from the playoffs. They're having a real hard time stringing play together and getting up for games. In multiple games, they've lost matches, and you're just like, what is happening? It just looks like the players are a bit flat. If in doubt, bet on a good manager like Michael Appleton to pick them up, and they're going to get a result here. Did you say 2-0?
2-0 Lincoln. I don't know, that's the thing. I mean, it's like you missed out on the playoffs. just having a consolidator year in League One is not a bad thing for Lincoln by any stretch of the imagination. So I don't think there'll be...
Plus, last year, it was a hell of a run that they put together to get to the playoffs in the first place.
They were top for a long time as well, weren't they, last
but
season?
It came out of nowhere. It came out of absolutely nowhere. I'm going to go with 2-0 as well. Fleetwood Town versus Morecambe.
I will just say one thing on Morecambe, and it's what we talked about in the Premier League video with Brentford. It's like when you play well and you lose, that comes back to haunt you because they played well in games. It's been a common theme that I've heard from the Morecambe fans. They play well, but they lose. And then you have a couple of games where you play shit.
And you lose.
And all of a sudden, it's like, well, where the hell are we as a football club? And they're really in a bad form at the moment. I think Fleetwood will win. As much as I hate backing Fleetwood Town, I think that they will get the job done. Then they'll jump above them and move Morecambe down into the relegation zone. So I'm going for 1-0 to the Fleet.
0-0.
Right, before we move on any further, we just have to have a quick chat about Patreon. If you could just thank the Patreon backers, Thomas.
Thank you to JP McManus, JP Morgan. No, I'm just joking. Thank you to PJ Simpson, Robert Allen, Christina Allen, and Grandstand Betters, and everyone else that supports us on Patreon. Please consider supporting us on Patreon. Your support is much needed and loved. But at the very least, please hit subscribe, like, and put your scores below. We will give you a shout out in the next video. And obviously follow Grandstand Betters, a fantastic tipster website. Their channel is blowing up. Check it out. And without further ado, our Gilding Lily, it's MK Dons versus Burton Albion.
I keep telling you, Burton Albion are dreadful, Thomas. When will you start to listen to me? Lost again today. Milton Keynes Dons put in a powerhouse performance.
Yeah, but MK Dons are sick this year. They're absolutely sick.
And they smashed Cambridge, who were on a good run themselves. Twine in the goals for MK
Yes,
Dons.
he was indeed.
And I can't see anything other than a pretty easy routine win for the Dons here. I'm going to go for 3-1.
You are a fool, Ian Allen. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is going to outmanage the shit out of this MK Dons side. They're going to outpossess him. Forward play is going to be insane. Just balls over the top into the striker. Burton to win 2-1.
Newly rejuvenated Portsmouth against AFC Wimbledon.
It is nuts that we talk about how bad Pompey have been, and then you look at it and they're only 5 points off the playoffs because they're a huge side. They're a huge side, and when they're playing badly, you're annoyed they're playing badly, but they've still done reasonably well. Won today, looking
good win.
Not back to their best, but the Cowley brothers have put together some semblance of form. They're playing a Wimbledon side who started the year really well and have really come back down to earth over the last couple. They've only won one in their last 5, possibly won their last 6 or 7. I don't have it in front of me. But it's hard to look past Portsmouth at home in this game.
Yeah, I think so as well. Good. 1-0 over Wycombe. That's a good to go away to Wycombe and beat them. There's not many sides that are going to do that this season, and I think they will back it up. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Portsmouth win.
Rotherham United versus Cambridge United.
Yeah, big game, but you can only see one winner. Rotherham have been pretty good. I mean, they didn't play in this international break, but Cambridge got absolutely destroyed by the MK Dons, which was a bit of a surprise. I thought they'd been on a good run. I think Cambridge might be a bit like last year's Crewe.
Yeah.
Win a few, lose a few, lose a few, never really know. But Rotherham have been so good.
Oh my God.
Home and away, but especially at home, that I think they're just going to win 3-0.
It's 7 or 8 games, I think, since they lost a match. They've been absolutely nuts. Yeah, they've drawn a couple, but they're looking fantastic. If they win their next game, they're at least tied with Wigan in second place. They've been phenomenal in that victory over Sunderland. I know,
and we know Wigan are going to lose their next game. So.
Well, obviously, because might be playing the mighty you. So,
spoilers.
What was your score, Ian?
I think 3-0 to the Millers.
Let's go high. 4-1 to Miller Incorporated.
Look, we could talk all day on this next one. I think Sunderland versus Ipswich.
Yeah, so we've just watched the Ipswich Town versus Oxford United game. Ipswich probably shaded it, even though it was an 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
Really good under pressure, really good at creating opportunities, really good at, if one player isn't playing well, being able to find another outlet. Extreme speed on either side of the striker. Bonnet looks great. Piggott comes off the bench in the 90th minute. The firepower at that club is nuts. Sunderland, on the other hand, 3 straight losses, having been coasting and looking like they're one of the best sides in the league. But this Sunderland side have it in them to completely change the narrative and just beat up on Ipswich if they need to. But Ipswich's run is fantastic. we predicted them to win the league, and you're starting to see the form from them that would make a title-winning side.
I think this is a nightmare game for Sunderland to have. They're in bad form. They lost in the FA Cup as well. There's a lot of...
Almost didn't want this week off, did they?
No. As you can imagine, there is a lot of bad vibes going around the club because anytime they don't have a win, it's a meltdown. And so Lee Johnson, and they're taking some pastings in there as well.
Yeah.
Lee Johnson is really under the pump. And I think this...
Under the pump.
It's an expression.
Is it?
Yeah. They say it in cricket all the time.
Buster you on text?
I think this Ipswich side are going to cause them no end of problems.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really hard game. And I'm going to back Ipswich in this one. I've got to. I think it'll be... I think high scoring. I think Sunderland 2, Ipswich 3.
I will do what I always do. I'll play devil's advocate. 3-2 to the Black Cats. Lee Johnson resurrects his career.
Wanderers battle here. Wycombe Wanderers, Bolton Wanderers.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like this should be a bigger game than it is, but Bolton have not been on form really recently. They got a win yesterday even, which was really big for them. Wycombe, on the other hand, are almost playing the exact same football that got them promoted 2 years ago. They score very few goals. Equally, they don't concede a huge amount, but their goal difference is really small. They have a hard time getting the ball in the back of the net. They've lost 2 on the bounce now. Mm-hmm. And I think Bolton might fancy this. I really do. I think they might think they can win this. And we're 17 games in. We're starting to get an opinion of teams. I can see Wycombe dropping out the playoff run. I genuinely can. Like I think if you played out that COVID year, they were definitely out. I mean, it was only on points per game they managed to sneak back in.
Sure. I much talked about but I can see this one being a draw here. I think I might actually even go for 0-0. Bolton, I think they're going to have one of those seasons where they're always going to be sort of in and around. Like they're always going to be like not far away from the playoffs. So if they get any win, they'll be like, "Can we go on a run?" And they'll have a load of like false dawns. Good. They needed to get a win over Crewe, and they did. And you summed it up with Wycombe. It's just come a bit off the rails for them at the moment. So I think a crappy 0-0 draw.
You took me into it. 1-0.
Who gives a flying fook? I think I could be forgiven because this is undoubtedly the greatest game being played up and down the whole of the world of football. It is time for the main event.
Wigan Athletic versus Oxford United.
And all that's going in. No. First of all, I'm going to start this by saying I am going to this game, Thomas. I'm not going with him. I'm taking... You're not available. You're not available. You were first choice, but I had to go with second choice, which ironically is weirdly my wife. Don't know how that works out.
This is why we're kept apart so often.
But so check out that one. I'll put some stuff up, for that game, and hopefully if I'm not too lazy, do some videos in and around the DW because I've never been there before. But difficult game, difficult week. Oxford we've just watched them draw 0-0, and as you can see the review video, we said it's a game. Oxford, it was even, Stephen, but Ipswich in the second half kind of
definitely shaded
it for sure. And this is going to be equally as tough against a very good Wigan side. If Oxford can come away with anything from this game, I'll be really happy. But I don't think that I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility for Oxford to go there and win either. I
don't think so at all. Oxford look a really strong side, and I said it in the first half of the match. They are so calm under pressure. At least they were in the first half. Second half was just like watching I don't know what happened there, but in the first half, like Ipswich pressed and they were just 3 passes, get out of it, move the ball to the other side of the pitch, and they were just flying up, playing really good football. I think Oxford can beat Wigan, and Wigan are this odd side. They win or they lose. They don't draw. They don't draw games. They've drawn one match this season. They've won 11. They've lost 4. So they're either going to beat you or you're going to beat them. But it's not going to be as cagey as...
And, I mean, Oxford fans, there's not many games we haven't turned up for this season. We haven't won every game, obviously. But in most games, Oxford do put in a pretty good showing. So I'll be surprised if Oxford, took a pasting or anything like that.
Wigan are remarkably open as well. I mean, they don't have the best defence in the league. They don't... I mean, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, it's good. But I don't know. I think that Oxford have a chance to win this. I obviously can't predict an Oxford win, but I do think they've got a chance.
Am I allowed to back a Wigan win?
No. Never show weakness.
Am I allowed to back a Wigan
Loss.
loss?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go for Wigan 1, Oxford 2.
I will go for Wigan 2, Oxford 1. No one saw that one coming.
Look, if Oxford can beat Wigan, and if they can go on and win the remaining games after that, they've got a really good chance of getting promoted.
Honestly, if Oxford can beat Wigan or MK Dons or Wycombe or Rotherham or Plymouth, I think that they stand a chance of actually pushing up the table. But they need to beat one of these top sides, and you don't. I
I've
know
done the maths. I've done the maths, Thomas. I've looked at it. There's 24 teams in the league. So Oxford, if they can beat all of them, if they can get more points than the other side, they got a good chance of winning the league.
but only a good chance. It's not guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed.
On that absolutely inane chatter from the two of us, thank you for watching. Please put your scores below. We will give you a shout out in the next video. Please like, comment, subscribe, tweet, Patreon, Facebook,
which is changing.
To Metaverse.
Yeah. It's Snapchat, TikTok,
Twitter as
my brand store.
Yeah, enough of this. We will see you. Ian will put out a video on Saturday about the Wigan game. We love you all. We will see you very soon.